Hey guys, Jess and Al from thesitecollective.com,
Perfect.
and today we are going to talk about mindfulness. But first we're going to start to talk about why we don't actually like a lot of the stuff on mindfulness that's already out there. Okay?
Yeah, okay, so it's a little bit of a bugbear of mine. Mindfulness sort of gets thrown around all the time. It's this sort of hippie kind of notion almost.
Yeah, and I know when I teach mindfulness, or when I start off by saying, okay guys, we're going to do mindfulness today, I just see like this Mexican wave of eye rolls going around the room of, oh God, here we go again.
So I think the thing is, this is very largely a misunderstood thing.
Yep.
Okay, what I want to do today is I want to kind of go through an approach that people that I've worked with have found extremely helpful.
Yep.
And more palatable than mindfulness as well. Okay.
And it's not just focus on your breathing. There's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah. So what I want to do, I might start off by way of an example.
Yep.
Okay. Let's imagine this situation, Jess. Let's say I were to say to you, oh, hi Jess. Okay, how you doing? What I want you to do is I want you to focus on this dot here, okay, that I've drawn. I want you to put your attention here, all right, and then I'm going to leave the room, but I want you to leave your attention there.
Okay. All right.
What do you think would happen? I'll leave the room. What's going to happen?
Yeah, look, I'd stare at it for a bit, but it's not going to hold my attention.
No.
Well.
So in no time at all, your mind's going to start wandering away from that.
Yep.
Okay. And it might wander to something neutral, like, why am I looking at this dot? This is a waste of time.
Yep.
I've got better things to do. All right. But then your mind might wander, we've got this sort of whole COVID thing going on at the moment, so there's a bit to worry about. So then you might go to worrying about, oh, should I be at work? What's happening with COVID? Blah, 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 blah. So this is an automatic thought. You don't choose to think about it.
Yep.
Okay.
Just pops in.
It just comes in.
Yep.
Okay. It's an automatic thought. All right. So you'll think about that for a while. Okay. But that might remind you of something else, like, oh, I've got to remember to pick up some groceries, this whole, oh, just getting low on toilet paper. Oh my God, well, the supermarkets are going to run dry of everything. So now we're in another worrying thought. Oh no.
Can't find toilet paper
anywhere. Can't find toilet paper. Will I find food? Da 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 da. All right. And then you might realise, oh look, no, I've got that covered. That's all okay. Things are all actually, and we'll think about other stuff, like I'll have to pick up some petrol on the way home today. And that might remind you of some other, I don't know.
Petrol prices.
Oh, petrol prices.
Petrol prices.
How am I going to afford petrol if I lose my job? Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. And then I come back in the room at this point, right? And I'm like, how are you going with that dot?
Oh shit, the dot.
Yeah. So here we are. Now you remember the dot again because I've prompted you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this basically we've got this thing here and this thing here and this thing here. These are all automatic. Automatic thoughts. Okay, you didn't deliberately choose to think about those. They had a life of their own. Okay, thanks. All right, so automatic thinking. All right, now when you have these kind of, and these are negative thoughts that we're focusing on for the sake of this discussion, what's happening with your emotion when you think about this, and this?
It's getting worked up, increased arousal, heightened anxiety.
Exactly. So this particular thought might have made you feel really distressed. Okay, this particular thought might have made you feel kind of flat. All right. And this particular thought might have made you feel kind of anxious or something.
I love the
emojis. You like my emojis?
Beautiful emojis.
Okay. But you didn't choose to do this. So automatic thoughts result in automatic emotions. Fair enough?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, so the exercise of me saying focus on the dot wasn't especially helpful.
No.
Okay, all right. It's because I didn't give you the correct instruction.
Okay.
All right.
So I thought mindfulness was about paying attention.
Well, it is, okay, but it's actually about developing a habit of mind. Okay, and the way you do that is with attention. Okay, so often people get told, "Oh, I want you to sit down and breathe. Do some breathing. Pay attention to your breathing."
Most of how mindfulness is packaged. Focus on the breath.
Yeah, and that's fine, right? That's fine. Okay, what that will probably do. Well, some people will get the shits.
Yep.
Okay, because they can't focus on their breath and they'll go, I can't do this, this is not for me.
I hear that a lot. Yep.
Yeah, and that's fair enough because the instruction is not correct.
Okay.
Okay. Or some people will focus on their breath and they can focus on their breath really well, and at the end of 10 minutes of focusing on their breath, they might be more relaxed. Okay.
Yeah, so there's some de-arousal.
Yeah, so there's and that's nice too. Okay, but it doesn't actually address this. Okay. Sure. All right. Whereas the correct instruction can help you address this.
Okay.
All right. So what's the correct instruction? All right. Here we go. So the focusing on the dot, okay, is a reasonable starting point. But the actual key instruction here is, I know that you can't stay focused on the dot.
Mm-hmm.
Your job is to notice when you're no longer focusing on the dot.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you do that, what you'll find is you'll focus on the dot for a while, okay, and your mind is going to wander.
Yeah.
Okay? And maybe it wanders into some negative stuff too. Sure. Okay? Automatic thinking, no problem. But your task, remember, is just to notice when your mind has wandered.
Yes.
Okay? The moment that you've noticed your mind has wandered, right, you get a tick. Okay? Because you've actually now practiced what is sort of real mindfulness.
So mindfulness is noticing when you're not being mindful?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. So once you've noticed that your mind has wandered away from the point of focus, okay, so the point of focus in this case is a dot, but it could just as easily be your breathing or looking at your finger. It doesn't really matter what the point of focus is. The point of focus is it's sort of like a negative space, okay? That's where you're putting your point of focus, but the real job is to notice that your thoughts have wandered away.
Okay.
All right, and then you bring them back.
But I suppose then once you've noticed, this is where the non-judgmental awareness needs to come in, that you don't then kick yourself going, oh God, I lost it, I forgot it. So
this is a win.
Yeah.
Okay, you noticing, that's the win. Okay,
yes.
This is, pat yourself on the back. I didn't spend 10 minutes stewing in my juices. Okay, what I did was, maybe I spent 5 minutes or however long. In fact, maybe it was 10 minutes, but if you notice at the end of that 10 minutes, oh, hang on, okay, I'm thinking about blah, 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 okay, recognizing that you're thinking about that.
So you get a pat on the back for catching yourself. You don't need to also kick yourself for wandering away in the first place, because your brain's going to wander. That's the whole point of your brain.
That's automatic thinking. That's what your brain does. There's this whole thing called the default mode network. Blah, 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 blah.
Another talk.
But what we're trying to do basically is we're just trying to notice our thinking. Okay, so we've done one rep, if you like. Okay, so we go back to the dot now, or the breath, whatever it might be. You focus on that, and you'll focus there for a while, sure. Okay, but inevitably your mind's going to start to wander, and off we go on a nice long little meandering wander. And again, okay, the moment you've noticed that your mind has wandered, I might note these pens here, you give yourself a tick because you've had another win.
Yep.
Okay, well done. All right. You know, at that point, one goes back to the dot, okay, and repeats the practice. This is why it's a practice. Practice makes perfect, right? Okay, and mind starts wandering again. It wanders. Maybe we get into some negative stuff again, okay? But we're on the lookout for it, so maybe we didn't spend so long in the negative stuff.
Okay, I like it.
All right, so now, I'm looking up these pens here big time. Okay, you get yourself a tick, all right? All right, good. And you go back to the dot. And this will be the last one, okay? Your mind wanders again, la, 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 off you go. You had a nice long one, that's cool. Tick, because you recognized it. So you earned yourself 1, 2, 3, 4 pats on the back. Yeah. Okay? Maybe it took you 10 minutes, okay, to go through this process. And maybe you had some negative thoughts going on, all right? I don't mind, we're practicing. All right? What do you think would happen if we were to do something like this every day for 3 months? What would happen to our capacity to do this stuff?
These are going to get shorter because you're going to get better at catching it. If the aim is to catch it, then you're going to get better at catching it.
That's exactly right. So 2 things happen, okay?
I'm going to go this side.
Thank you. All right. So the first thing that happens is, well, you actually do get better at focusing on the dot. So we can draw that a little bit bigger.
Okay. So bigger focus.
Yeah. So some people think that's the whole point. All right, but it's not. I mean, this is good, like better attention maybe you will get from that. So that's not a bad thing at all. Yeah. Okay, so hang on, let me just. So this is 3 months. You'd start off at 10 minutes a day and you'd work up to 20 minutes a day. I like how it's mind, actually. I hadn't noticed it before.
It is.
All right. So that's what you do. If you start off with 20 minutes a day, it's probably just a bit too difficult. So I'd start off with 10, okay? You're focusing on the dot. It's easier to focus on the dot. Okay. Now your mind wanders, but it's less likely to have these long meanderings.
Yeah, you should get that faster.
Yeah, exactly. So you give yourself a tick, all right? You go back to the dot, okay? You'll have another meander, no worries. You give yourself a tick. You are better at focusing on the dot, so maybe you'll stay there for a bit, okay? But another meander, tick. You might even have a long meander, a bit unskilled. That's okay, no problem, okay? Just give yourself a tick, acknowledge that that's what's happened, no problem. Back to the dot. Focusing on the dot, away we go, and maybe we even end up in a bit of sort of negative thought here as well. No problem. As long as you recognise that's what's happened, give yourself a tick.
But I reckon that the more you're paying attention to this sort of process, the more you're going to get attuned to this sort of stuff, that you pick up the cues of the emotional stuff a lot faster.
Absolutely.
So you catch yourself of, rather than kind of 25 minutes of ruminating and stressing, you catch yourself at the beginning of it and go, hang on a minute, I'm starting to ruminate. This isn't helpful. Yep. I'm pulling the pin now.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So that's what's going on. In the space of your 10 or 20 minutes here, you might have, 100 of these, okay, and you get a tick for each one. Good on you.
Yeah.
All right. So then you might say to me, well, that's all very well and good, Al. Okay, fantastic. All right. Well, what's the point? All right, what's the point of it?
What is the point,
What is
Al?
the point of it?
What
okay.
is the point?
Well, let's go back to our first. Let's swap sides.
Okay.
Okay, if we think back to our usual process where our mind's prone to just sort of wander away and we end up in these negative spaces, and we spend a lot of time in these negative spaces, that's because we weren't really aware of our automatic thoughts. Okay, the automatic thoughts still come, but now we have some awareness about what's going on. Okay, so here's what happens differently. Let's say you're wandering here. Now, instead of wandering to this automatic thought and spending 5 or 10 minutes there, you can notice it after a few seconds. Guess what? And then you can choose to think about something else, or you can attack it with a more problem-solving scope. Okay.
So then we've hit a choice point.
Then we've hit it. Well, indeed. So now we can actually think, well, what am I worried about? Okay. Can I articulate that problem more clearly?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a solvable problem or is it an unsolvable problem?
Okay. And here we're getting into white and tight.
Yeah. Yep. What's the next action?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so, but the point of this, I've lost my eraser, but anyway, now we don't have this negative emotional state necessarily. Now we're being constructive. Okay, cool. So now we're having a sort of neutral kind of thought. And again, once we do that, our mind might, kind of wander off to wherever. And again, you might decide that's fine, or you might actually want to do something more constructive. Okay, so even the neutral stuff you can do things with, but certainly the negative stuff you do want to do things with. We don't need unconstructive negative thoughts. We can start to actually channel those into something constructive. And then we don't lose our, so then as a result, we basically can just delete these from our lives.
Well, okay, hang on. I want to be clear on expectation, because you're not going to delete negative emotional state from your life entirely. That's not practical, it's not possible.
No, but you're going to delete the negative emotional state that comes from automatic thinking. Okay, so I mean, and also you might, this is a skill you can utilize if you want to or not. Like it's not like I've got to be a slave to this and never just chill out in my thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you're absolutely not. But the point of it is, you now can catch yourself. Oh, hang on, why am I thinking this garbage for? All right, this is not helpful to me. Okay, that can give you then that choice point. Okay, am I going to solve this problem? All right, is this a solvable thing that I want to do some work on? Or do I want to put my thoughts elsewhere?
So we could then encourage people to apply this sort of theory for intrusive experiences, trauma memories, ruminating past stuff.
Yeah.
Notice that you're kind of going down that rabbit hole of that bad thing that happened. Pull yourself out at the start of it rather than 45 minutes later when you triggered up the...
Wazoo, maybe?
Wazoo, yeah.
All right, so here's the thing. Some people do the mindfulness exercise, okay, and kind of stumble on this.
Yep.
All right, and it works for them. But most people don't. Most people do a mindfulness exercise. They don't stumble on this. They don't think of these as wins. They think of these as losses.
Yes.
Okay, and so I'm no good at this. And it just becomes another automatic thought. I'm crap at this.
Mindfulness doesn't work. It's bullshit. I don't like it. It's a waste of my time.
Exactly. Whereas the truth is, these are the wins, okay? Capitalize on them. Improve the skill. And that way you don't have to deal with all the crap if you don't want to on your day to day.
All right.
So that's it, guys. Now,
all right.
Okay, so I guess in terms of where to go from here, though, so this is kind of the theory. Yes, you could just sort of stare at a dot or stare at your finger or whatever, okay? We'll probably need to eventually put some sort of guided.
Yeah, we might do a guided visualization. You know what? If you want that, leave us a comment, because there's hundreds of those things out there. But if you want something that's going to guide you through this sort of practice that's coming from us, where the focus is on the win as opposed to seeing it as a bad thing when you lose your attention on your breath or whatever, leave us a comment. Let us know. We're happy to put something up.
Yeah.
And I think this hopefully is going to be a more palatable version of mindfulness that doesn't have people rolling their eyes at us.
It's not woo-woo. It's really about addressing automatic thinking and the automatic negative emotions that can come with that.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay. Hope it's been helpful. Leave us a comment. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, folks. Bye.